All has been sowed. Reap what you will. In life, I believe the seeds of truth and the seeds of wisdom are sowed in each and every object, person, thought, everything. Everything has the essence of the eternal and and divinity in it. And if we are humble enough to see the divinity in all things, everyone and everything can be our teacher in one way or another. Now, obviously, there is evil and there are people who we are in certain ways smarter than and in certain things better at, but there are things that they are smarter at and things that they are better at than us. And it isn't even in the latter statement the things that we can learn, because having a guide of not what to do is still a guide and can still help you, and can still, viewing things from other people's point of view can help you obtain empathy and can help you be more understanding of them. And if you were able to realize that there are seeds of wisdom and greatness sowed in this experience that you're having, and you allow yourself to see the fruits of this, then you will always gain wisdom. You will always learn, or you have at least the ability to always gain wisdom and learn from each and every person, encounter, object, whatever it may be. And it is only when we close our hearts, when we believe we have nothing left to learn, when we let our pride and our ego take a hold of us, that we we don't think every situation has a opportunity to be fruitful and to give us gifts that we will be grateful for the rest of our lives. And you can only obtain these whilst in the knowledge that this is a possibility, and not being hard-hearted and closed-minded. As I said, even the person who shows you the wrong way to go is your guide. It's your guide in what not to do. It's your guide to work on a virtue that you can practice. Because a lot of the virtues, well, all the virtues, more or less, aren't convenient. And virtue is most necessary when dealing with difficult people. And that's why patience is a virtue, because we need to have patience with dealing with people, or it's impossible to reap what has been sowed in them, and it's impossible to gain the perspective that they have. And each person has their own perspective on things for certain reasons. And I believe that no one is willingly deprived of the truth. And at if you were that person who went through those things in life, who was exposed to that information, I don't think I don't think we'd have any other choice to but to be exactly what they are. Now maybe there was willful things that happened, but I don't think, as I said, I don't think anyone willfully wants to be bad or wants to do evil things, even though evil things are done in most people's eyes, one way or another, they're justified evils that are good. And you see that time and time again with people who in their moral excellence commit moral atrocities against the side that they believe will do moral atrocities. In people's righteousness, they become wicked. And we see that, I mean, time and time again on a small scale, and then unfortunately on larger scales where mass amounts of lives are taken. And this is all comes from a hardened heart of not being able to see the perspectives of other people, of thinking that pure evil exists in this world, and thinking that this person has not been touched by the divine. When you believe that each and every person is a child of God, it's easier to deal with faults. It's easier to realize that just as God has worked in you, God has worked in them, and there is something of fruit to be had from your interaction. And if you choose to sow it, or if you choose, and if you, it's been sowed, and it's up to you to reap it. No one else will. And a hardened heart can never reap what has been sowed. It is paramount to commit to a life of lifelong learning. And it's paramount to understand that the second you believe you've learned it all, you've just unlearned the most valuable lesson, that you can never learn it all. And I believe in life. I don't necessarily think we're ever in a state of stagnation in anything. We are either improving or we are declining. We are becoming worse. I don't think there's any perfect state of stagnation in the physical or the mental sense. We're either getting better or we're getting worse. And if you're committed to a life of lifelong learning, I think you're always getting better in one way or another. But if you think you know, as Epictetus says, you cannot learn that which you think you already know. And if you believe you know that which you think, if you believe you know that, then you're actively falling behind on your knowledge because you're closed to new things. Now, there is something to be said about if no new information is added, then one should still hold their opinions if those opinions were founded in not half-baked opinions. Because if we were so open-minded that each and every day we took what everyone said as potential gospel and listened to each and every criticism and all of the things of that nature, we would never get anywhere. We would have no structure. So if there's no new information provided, then I think one should still not harden their heart to the potential benefit, but one should realize that one's already done the legwork on this, and there's no new information provided. So unless new information is provided, you're going to come to the same conclusion, and there's no need to waste time on that. But I just wanted to make this video to encourage you to view each and every situation, object, and experience in person as a teacher in one way or another. And do not harden your heart to your teachers, or you will not be able to reap what has been sowed.